This is Michael Popak, Legal AF, where the Alabama House, led and controlled by MAGA, decided to flip the bird to the United States Supreme Court and refuse to follow their direction as it relates to congressional voting maps, and disenfranchised about half of their state and black voters to boot. The U.S. Supreme Court and the federal court system fired back, and now we have at least 2 out of the 7 congressional districts in Alabama, which is at least almost equivalent to the 28% of Alabama that is black, will be a black majority voting district to allow them to vote for somebody that represents their interest, so that the entire state isn't 6 out of 7 congressional districts controlled by old white guys. Alabama has always been a place where voting rights and civil rights are on the knife's edge, that the federal government, when in control by Democrats, has to keep a close eye on things in states like Mississippi and Alabama and other places in the deep, deep South, the Jim Crow South, because their natural instinct to this day in 2023, heading into 2024, is to disenfranchise their black residents as if there has been no Civil War, no Emancipation Proclamation, and no Reconstruction in this country, or Civil Rights Act, or Voting Rights Act. They live in another time period, an old-timey period where their fellow citizens who happen to be black are disenfranchised as late as this year. And so in June, when the U.S. Supreme Court, without dissent, rejected a appeal by the House MAGA to have their maps, which again would have only led to one congressperson in Alabama to be black in 2023. That was even too far for the MAGA right wing of the United States Supreme Court. Even they said that looks like a Voting Rights Act violation, and they very rarely find Voting Rights Act violations. They try to use other constitutional doctrines to avoid even making that decision. You know, they like to say, well, it's too late in the game. The maps have already been printed and the ballots have already been printed. Come see us after the election. Now, at least for the 2024 elections, we're going to have a proper map because 3 federal judges of a 3-judge panel, working with a special master appointed by them, an expert in election and electoral boundaries, has adopted one of the 3 maps that was proposed, which now complies with what the federal court, upheld by the Supreme Court, has told the Alabama legislators to do. Make sure there is another black majority district